your dreams.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail video, and today we're just going to be talking about things to consider before pulling for our armpit goddess Fu Xuan. By the way, if you happen to like the content, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. But things to consider before you pull for Fu Xuan is if you already are clearing Mirrors of Chaos. If you are getting the full clear, then you probably most likely don't need to pull for her, but if you are struggling in it, maybe pulling for Fu Xuan is going to help you quite a bit. You do have to keep in mind that Mirrors of Chaos is basically going to cater whoever is on rate up, so, you know, if you are struggling in Mirrors of Chaos, you don't really have to worry too much. But Fu Xuan is a preservation character, so she is going to help keep your team alive. Her gameplay is almost similar to Dea from Genshin Impact. She basically takes the hits for your team. I don't think she takes necessarily all of the hits, but she basically takes most of the hits for you. She does have a way to restore her own HP, so you probably don't even need to run an abundance character with Fu Xuan. Fu Xuan is way better than Dea because, for one, Star Rail is a turn-based game, so having a character take some hits for you is actually beneficial. Also, Fu Xuan's skill will also give your character's free crit rate by 15%. So that's basically more damage for your main DPS, and if you pair Fu Xuan with any other future main DPS, you also buff that DPS as well. It's also pretty handy if you're struggling to build crit rate for your characters. You can just put Fu Xuan on the team and that's free crit rate right there. And if you manage to get her at E1, she basically increases the crit damage of your party members. So that's even more damage right there that you're getting. I'm personally going to be pulling for that E1 because that extra crit damage just sounds so good. And I'm also struggling to get more crit damage. So Fu Xuan has some pretty good utility with her already, right? She basically gives you free crit rate and she keeps your team alive. Fu Xuan will also have a new 4-star character running alongside with her, who is called Lynx. Lynx is a quantum healer. But pulling on Fu Xuan's banner gives you characters that's going to help you keep your team alive. I know the new Swarm Disaster is pretty hard for a lot of people, so having characters that keep you alive is going to help you tackle the Swarm Disaster. I know some people have been running like double preservation or double abundance characters, so pulling on Fu Xuan's banner could potentially help you survive in the Swarming Disaster. Keep in mind though that the Swarm Disaster is permanent content. You don't have to rush to do it in any way. I would suggest that you take your time doing it because, you know, it's permanent content. It's not supposed to just, you know, be done in like a few days. You basically have all the time in the world to do Swarm Disaster. Fu Xuan's banner is also key to unlocking mono quantum teams, because as of right now, we only lack an abundance and a preservation for quantum. And since both of those paths help keep your team alive, it's going to be pretty good for mono quantum. We got Silverwolf, who's probably one of the best debuffers in the game. She can implant a weakness on the enemy, and if you're running mono quantum, she's basically going to be inflicting the quantum weakness to any enemy she meets. We got Seela, who's the quantum single target DPS. You all know how good she is already. But if you do need AoE, there's also QQ, who is a free 4-star quantum character that is of the Erudition path. With Fu Xuan and Lynx coming around to the party, they're going to help the survivability of the mono quantum team. I honestly cannot wait to try out this team. I love Seela, I love Silverwolf, I love Quantum. Quantum is most likely the waifu element right now. Another thing to consider before pulling for Fu Xuan is what do you want or need for your team? You might already have your first team built and, you know, you might need to get another team for Mirrors of Chaos. Lacking some preservation characters, you lack Japard. Maybe you don't want to use March because she's dumb, or maybe you already have Trailblazer on the other team. Maybe you should consider pulling for our armpit goddess, Fu Xuan. But if you do already have 2 teams already built, you probably don't even need to pull for Fu Xuan. At that point, the only reason you're pulling is because you're just collecting more characters. I did mention earlier, I think that Fu Xuan is going to be pretty good for future main DPS characters since she does increase the crit rate of your party. But I am curious to know if she is going to work with Jing Liu. From what I heard about Jing Liu, she does drain the HP of your allies. I wonder if Fu Xuan is going to help negate some of that damage. I don't know for sure, but that could be another thing to consider before you pull for Fu Xuan. If you are considering pulling for Jing Liu, maybe Fu Xuan might help negate the damage that Jing Liu does to her own team. You do have to keep in mind that Fu Xuan is going to be the first limited preservation character. There could be another preservation character down the line that might be better than Fu Xuan. It could be a preservation character that just straight up negates all damage for one turn. Or maybe one that sets up a shield, and when an enemy attacks that shield, they get like attacked back or something. But just keep that in mind when you are considering pulling for Fu Xuan. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye bye now. Come again soon.